process on it.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1139. Hello, it is Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Today, we are going to hear from Shelley Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the Engineer, plus the return of a segment I haven't done in a long time called Mike Rips Someone a New One. But first,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The name of the show is called Speech. This episode today is called Speech, and
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I don't usually name the shows because I'm lazy and such, but there's something that really did touch me, and that was a speech I saw, a couple of speeches I saw, and now I'm going to break the law and podcast. Wait, that's not really breaking the law.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Because we live in a free country and you can podcast all you want and do speeches. And
Mike's
I guess you can also
Daily
heckle the people
Podcast
that are doing the wonderful speeches.
Yeah!
Even at the place where you should not be heckling them. I'm looking you square in the eye, you Bernie Sanders delegates. What the bleep? Seriously. I've been listening to On Point, Warren Olney's show. What's it called? To the Point. On Point is Tom Ashbrook. I don't listen to Tom Ashbrook anymore. He puts idiots' phone calls on his show, and it just drives me nuts. To the Point, Warren Olney, he picks out his guests beforehand, and he gets the people speaking from across the spectrum. So, of course, he's discussing Hillary, and he puts on all these Bernie Sanders delegates. Oh, my gosh. Dearest listener, I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. I couldn't do a podcast yesterday because of a power outage, and there was much rage during the power outage with me yesterday because I wanted to talk to you. My job, usually I have a little time where I can do a quick little podcast. My podcasts are very short. But yesterday I couldn't. I had so much to do to help put 3 radio stations back on the air due to a power outage in Fremont. Thank you very much, Fremont. But you Bernie Sanders delegates, look who just walked in. Hello, my Matthews. It's Shelley Shoehart, the Trump supervisor. I like Bernie Sanders. What are you saying about him? No, wonderful guy, but enough is enough. He said enough is enough. He said stop booing. He said listen. It's done. We got to be behind Hillary or Trump wins. And if you want Trump to win, if that's your thing, if you're listening to this podcast right now and you want Trump to win, well, you most certainly should not be a Democrat, because it is all about Trump is with the Republican Party, and that's his thing. If you are a Republican, go vote for him. Fine. But if you're a Democrat, and just because you dislike Hillary because of her past, her road to this point has been a colorful one. Look who else just walked in. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere the Engineer. Yes, Floyd's a big Bernie Sanders fan. Yeah, Hillary's a crook. Well, okay. See, now, if you believe that and you want Trump to win, there you go. I don't want Trump to win. Well, if you don't vote for Hillary, Trump is going to win. It's how it works. That's how our society is. That's a messed up system. It is a messed up system, but it's the system we have. I'm not going to vote. Then Trump is going to win. Do you see how this works? If you want your car to run, you've got to put gas in it. Or if it's electric, you've got to put electricity in. It's how it is. Now, you may say change all you want, but it ain't going to happen within the next 6 months, I can't count, 4 months? See, I personally, I hate the election because my birthday falls around the election, and that's when I turn the big 4-8. I'm not looking forward to the big 4-8. Anyway, Cafe Anyway. The speeches tonight were amazing. freaking amazing. I'm doing this podcast right after Obama's speech. And I'm sorry, the guy should have just dropped the mic right then. It was so, well, but he had a mic already on his lapel. But it was so good. So good. You have, what a stark contrast. I know what I'm saying is going to be put in every single newspaper and heard on every single, and seen on every single newscast, that it was a stark contrast to what Trump said. Trump was dark and just depressing, and Obama was positive and uplifting, and it was basically his victory lap. It was basically his goodbye speech. It totally felt like, thank you so much for everything. He said things like, you carry Hillary the way you carried me. He was so thankful to us, the people. Of course, the stupid I am so sick of delegates. Hillary delegates as well. There are some idiot delegates that shout out stupid stuff during these important speeches. Biden's speech tonight was also amazing. The line, "We own the finish line." Beautiful. I loved it. Side note here, and I would like to thank whoever's great idea it was at the Democratic Convention to ruin Rachel Platten's fight song. I love that song. Why did you do a stupid Brady Bunch parody, whatever? What the hell was that? Does ABC own the Democratic Party? Is that why all the people from Modern Family were in that? That was ridiculous. Ugh. And I liked that song. Mike, I like that song too. It's a great song, Floyd. And they ruined it. I didn't need to see that. Anyway. Well, I didn't actually see. I saw like a glimpse of it, and I'm like, no. So maybe the way I just described it isn't exactly what it was, but that's what it looked like to me. So, meanwhile, though, Obama brought up stuff from his past, the classics like "Yes We Can" and birth certificates. He made a joke about that. He made a reference to the audacity of hope. And then talked about homegrown demagogues. Yes, Trump is a homegrown demagogue, and he will be a demagogue. He is white, he is male, he is all about himself. And that should scare the crap out of you if you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, and you are opening the door, Floyd, for that to happen. Oh, you're making it worse than it sounds. That's exactly how it is. I've been saying this for months. This is Ralph Nader all over again. If you vote for Bernie, let's say you pencil in, I want Bernie to still, even though Bernie said, give all my votes to Hillary, I want Bernie to win. You are Ralph Nadering this election, and Al Gore loses. Like he did years ago. Only we got a much better candidate in Hillary. Even though, yeah, there's a connection between, but all that with Bill. But that was a great line Obama said, that Hillary will be a better president than me or Bill. And then Bill is like shaking his head in the audience and saying, yep, that's true. So there is an actual testimony from a delegate, a Hillary delegate with the California delegates, who said that the Bernie delegates maligned her, called her horrible words. The behavior of delegates in general is ridiculous, but it sounds like the Bernie delegates are acting completely out of control, which will lead us nicely into Mike ripped someone a new one, but it's actually not me ripping someone a new one. It was Seth Meyers who did it. And I don't know if Seth Meyers' show, I don't know how big this show is. It is on late at night. And I did put it in my YouTube queue to watch his highlights, but I just haven't had the time to watch it. And, Obama said, he quoted that famous line about the way Hillary was competing against him in the election eight years ago, and he said she was a tough, someone you fight against. Competition. She was such tough competition, yet she was doing, he said, everything I was doing backwards and in heels like Ginger Rogers. That quote, I love that quote. That's such a great line that's been used many times, but it was great to be used in that sentence. Oh, and then they used Stevie Wonder, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. And then Hillary walked out and gave him a big hug. That was a hug I felt. Okay, I'm being very pro-democratic right now, but this is how I feel. It was an excellent speech. Excellent. Both those speeches, Biden and even Bloomberg to some extent. Bloomberg did as good as I've ever seen him do. That was a great speech. Wow. Lots of good speeches tonight. And Seth Meyers did a great speech too. We're going to hear a little bit of it, of what exactly he said that was so interesting. Hey, if you'd like to help support this show, all you got to do is if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, go through that Amazon link at mikesdailypodcast.com and shop whatever it was you're going to buy on Amazon, and that helps us out. Also, there's a link there at mikesdailypodcast.com for a PayPal if you want to support the show. You'll get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters, including John Deere the engineer, who's hardly said anything today. Yes, it's true, Mike. You haven't let me say a word. I haven't said anything. I'm actually kind of shy. Go Hillary. You're a big Hillary supporter. Yes, I am. Love her and her feathered hair. Yeah, let's hear it for her feathered hair. Yeah, it's all right. Okay. Mike Matthews, I did like that Rachel Platten song. I don't care who sings it, I still love it. They ruined it. Okay, they did a little bit. I'm glad you agree. Yay. Where's my applause? I thought I had an applause sound effect somewhere. Oh, I've just got this. Go! Okay. Oh, here it is. Yay! All right, thank you. We've wrapped up this section of Mike's Daily Podcast. Oh, if you want to see the podcast picture, which is right here.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture is of some apples in my backyard that I was talking about in a recent podcast. Well, the birds got to them. They're gone. I went to check on them yesterday, and they were gone, and I was so sad. Actually, I forgot about them, and I let Basil the boxer outside this morning, and I was like, oh, I'll just take a look. Oh, they're gone. This is so sad. Muy triste. So sad. But anyway, what you gonna do about it? It's done. No more. Okay, let's end this part of the show. Oh, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com, those apples. You can see the picture of the apples and other past podcast pictures and interviews that I've done with people, including the last show I had Joel Markert on from Cure for Gravity. They're going to be in Denver this weekend. Listen to that past podcast to find out all the details. Okay, now for the segment, Mike Rips Someone a New One.
Mike Rips Someone a New One.
I must say, Seth Meyers is a very smart guy. I used to not like it, the fact that he was hosting, or that he was the new newscaster guy on Saturday Night Live. But then he really took it over. He made it his own. And by the time he left, I was sad he was gone. I didn't really like I don't like his talk show that much, but I mean, it's okay. I just never get around to watching it. But he unveiled a new segment this was yesterday, on Tuesday, called Hey. And it was aimed squarely at the Bernie Sanders diehards who have been raising a ruckus at the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia. He said, I know you're Bernie or bust, but the results are in. Bust won. We don't have time for this. He added, we're on the cusp of electing a racist demagogue, and that never ends well. I don't know which class you ditched to go to those Bernie rallies, but I have a feeling it was history. Myers and Trump have been feuding. Yes, Seth Meyers and Donald Trump have been feuding for far longer than the presidential campaign. Back in 2011, Seth Meyers, then the head writer of Saturday Night Live, mocked Trump's presidential ambitions at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Donald Trump has been saying he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising because I just assumed that he was running as a joke. That's what he said back at the time. In 2014, when Meyers was named host of the Emmys, Trump blasted him on Twitter. That Seth Meyers is hosting the Emmy Awards. It's a total joke. He's very awkward with almost no talent. Marbles in his mouth. Hey, what's wrong with a few marbles in your damn mouth? Well, anyway, that's on the internet as we go outside a cafe anyway, bringing Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in podcast. I can't talk right now because there are marbles in my mouth. Next show, it is going to be Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle player, and the Brewmaster. And please, don't be rude. Don't be rude. You know, okay, I'm a little bit rude on this show sometimes. But I mean, it's my podcast. Okay, I gave Jennifer Garner and Matthew Modine a little flack for being in a Christian movie that was completely Christian, and I knew they were doing it just to cash in. Hey, did you know that bereavement fares are gone? Except for 2 airline carriers are doing bereavement fares still. That's it. That sucks. Why is that? Because of Trump. Well, as I speak to you from cafe anyway, from the... oh, did we go outside yet? Okay, we're outside now. And I just want to say that we had a couple of power... well, the power outage, as of this moment, is still going on in Fremont. There are some very smart people whom I work with that were able to get the power back up again, and that is just pure genius, and I applaud them. One of them being Jarrell from the segment Jarrell Name. Speak your mind. Speak. No, even if you have marbles in your mouth, speak. Even if you disagree and you're still going to vote for Bernie and cause Trump to become president, speak your mind. That's what it all comes. Even if I'm like screaming at the radio or wherever you or your podcast when I hear you say these things, that's what it's all about. That's what America. Ain't that America to you and me? God bless America.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!